All right.
Here we are yet again.
We don't have the podcast. I mean, I feel like the last one was so bad I don't even remember what it was.
Same. Water off a duck's back, though, right?
Yeah.
Here we go. I think I just want it too bad.
Yeah. I want it too good.
Yeah. So we should get on the same page. Maybe it's frustrating that it's like a communication issue when that's really all this is. This is a conversation between me and you, and should I want it bad or good? You want me to get on your page?
I feel like I'm over here trying to make it too good. I'm like, if anything, I want it to be too good, and you're like, no, it should be too bad.
Yeah, you're right. I'll stop sucking now.
Thank you for that.
I'll say you're welcome at the end of the show.
Okay, now I feel like I would need to thank you for reminding me that this is, of course, the week of Thanksgiving holidays.
Oh, my heart accepts your thanks.
And I think that we should just start the show by saying what we're thankful for.
That's a wonderful idea. I am thankful for savory cream cheeses.
Yes, let us all say thanks for our savor cream Jesus.
I'm just a big fan of this.
He came to save.
Oh yeah,
our Savior.
It's little bits of sun-dried tomato coming off of that crown of thorns. It's the jalapeno stigmata.
That comes at half price during happy hour.
Is that like one of those shots you buy your friend when he turns 21?
Mm-hmm. Before that, you have to get the virgin stigmata.
Yeah. I mean, that's also another thing I'm thankful for, that practice, joke shots. So we got savory cream cheeses, joke shots. I mean, family, friends.
Is joke shots like the thing where annoying comedians try to make a picture of themselves doing stand-up into a meme on Reddit?
I would say like you might have to click on the disambiguation of the Wikipedia page to find that, but I think that's probably a thing.
Yeah.
I think it's mostly just the, things are like, oh, it tastes like curdled milk, and I've already been drinking so much. It's just like,
wait, I don't get. It tastes like curdled milk is the punchline to someone's stand-up.
Oh no, I'm going with if you did the search on the Wikipedia for joke shots, it would go straight to they just mixed lemon juice and Baileys together, or I don't know. Things that are just trying to make people throw up.
Yeah. Seems rude.
Mm-hmm.
Millennials.
That just made me kind of think about wanting to make people throw up makes me think about John Waters, and then I was just thinking about drinking the water out of a John would make me throw up. Because the idea of a
homosexual man makes you want to throw up? Is that what you're saying?
No, he would just make movies that would have, Divine eating a piece of dog poop.
Oh, is that the kind of thing that
you
get your jollies off of?
I mean, yes.
I don't know why.
I do. It's very fun. It's a very fun movie.
I just turned on you.
I am very jolly about it. Maybe it's just the season. I'm very, you brought it up. I'm very thankful right now, and I want to give those thanks.
And I am thankful for the Earth's magnetosphere protecting us from harmful solar flares. Thanks, magnetosphere. You've been spinning it, you crazy molten nickel core. You've been spinning for 7 billion years. Here's to another 7 billion more.
It's really cool that when they discovered that, they were like big Marvel fans. And, like one of the spheres got named after Magneto. I think that's, like, it makes me think that Magneto's got just like a sphere of a whole bunch of bits of metal up there protecting us. Who needs, laser systems and whatnot when Magneto's on your side?
Yeah. Now, if the Earth's magnetosphere ever went away...
It's really pissing me off that you keep mispronouncing it. It's the magnetosphere.
Oh, I'm sorry. Now, if you were Magneto, like, how embarrassed would you be that your name has Nito in it?
I'd probably be really broody, make sure that I had a helmet that obscured part of my face, so I felt like I was always hiding, and just I'd probably start a gang.
Yeah, sounds like you. Now, have you ever heard of the X-Men?
That's a pretty hardcore name, X-Men. Yes, I've heard. What? Yes.
I just thought I was just making sure.
Okay.
That it would have been amazing if you'd never heard of the X-Men.
But just a huge fan of Magneto.
You just described Magneto to a T just based on his origin.
Just a fan of his crossovers with into the Spider-Verse. And also the toothbrush I have with him on it. And his Pez dispenser.
Oh, that's a good Pez. Sometimes you see something and you're just like, oh yeah, like this would be a perfect Pez head.
Magneto's, and also think about it, they never accessorized the Pez dispensers. That helmet should be able to pop on and off.
Oh. Kind of like the Han Solo action figure you had to send away for in Serial.
I don't know
I believe
about
it
that.
was Fruit Loops. Because they had the action figure of Luke Skywalker in the Stormtrooper costume, and the helmet came off.
Uh-huh.
But you could only get the Han Solo one in boxes of cereal, and you had to send away for it.
If they're both in Stormtrooper outfits, they could have just like sent you a little head. You could pop the
Modular.
Luke head off and put the cool head on there.
So what you're proposing is a completely modular Pez dispenser where the head pops on and off, and then the helmet pops on and off.
Yeah, just more options, because I get bored with my Pez intake. I need lots of options.
You know who else would make a great Pez dispenser? Sleepy Joe Biden. Old Sleepy Joe. Just think about it, like it would like the Pez would be at his where his mouth opens, and then when the Pez came out, it would look like when his dentures get all loose. Hey, I had an idea, but it's not a podcast idea. Like the National Star Registry?
Yes.
Where you can pay some sort of completely arbitrary nominal fee, and then someone is just keeping track of the names of stars. You name the star.
I remember being in the 3rd grade and finding out about it and just being like, that's going to be the best present I ever bought. Mom and Dad are going to be... I didn't do it, though. So, saved $50 or whatever it was.
Mm-hmm. Well, this idea I had is, what if we started the National Car Registry? Think about it. Like, all you have to do is just walk around with a pad and paper, and write down all the VIN numbers of all the cars that you see in a day, and then you just set up a website, and people are like, I would like to name a car. And then we'd be like, yeah, sure. What's the name? And they're like, it's Brian Sucks Ass.
And then we can make most of our money by guilting people into getting to name their own car so that some asshole doesn't do it for them.
Yeah, that's what makes it so good. Then
we need to get the cops on board.
I'm seriously, trademark. I'm going to make this website. Because then you could just be an idiot naming someone else's car, but we would have a website, and you can search a VIN number and be like, oh, look, see, I paid $3 to name someone's car in Iowa after you. Isn't that sweet? And then you'd get a car and look up the number, be like, what am I going to name my car? And then you find out that it's like, Babe. And your car's just called Babe because that's what the guy thinks his girlfriend's name is.
And the guy in Iowa thinks that it's like, is that like a pig joke? They think I'm like a sweet talking pig?
Oh yeah, like think if someone cut you off in traffic and you were the kind of psycho that would just follow them, and then when they get to where they're going, you just like kind of hang back. And then you run up and like take down a note of what their VIN number is, and then you name their car to get revenge on them. Mm-hmm. People are like, "Ooh, who's this? What super pedophile?"
Oh man, and
that's
we need to find some way where, like, I'm just trying to find some way where we can penetrate to the car owners' world and let them know your car has been named. There's nothing you can do. I wonder, is there some connection where everybody who, I don't know, I just want it to be emailed to them and say like,
I mean, I guess, oh my God, we could just have it automatically send someone a postcard letting them know their car has been named, because that's tied to your address, right? Uh-huh. Like your license. So, yeah, so people would just start getting postcards in the mail. It's like, oh, your car has been named. And they're like, what? They're like, yes, by the National Car Registry. They're like, son of a bitch. But then that would turn into like a real viral, article where it's like, she found out that someone had named her car, and then she found out it was for real. And it's just like a BuzzFeed article that people are like, what, they're doing that now? Oh, God damn it. That's how, and then people start trying to name. It'll take off like wildfire. I guarantee it.
We also need like a reverse searchable option. So, because I don't know what my VIN number is, and I certainly don't know what any of my friends are. But I do want to know what all their cars have been named.
Yeah.
If I haven't done the naming myself.
Yeah, and you think about it. You could go back, look through your old, paperwork, the files that you keep around. You could go back and name some of your cars that have passed on.
Oh.
As a tribute to them.
Yeah, I guess they had names in life, they should have names in death.
Yeah.
But like a new name because I'm feeling frisky.
It's like the same thing as when you stay at a Marriott hotel, then the Mormons do their special baptism for you. To get you into Mormon heaven. They just steal your information from their hotels and give you a secret Mormon baptism.
So, like, are they present to do they lay hands on you, or is it just like you have no idea? You're just taking your normal morning shower, and guess what? That's holy water, and guess what? It's been blessed, and guess what? So are you.
They don't sneak up on you, if that's what you're asking.
Well, they're really nice people. I mean, they'll just come and hang out with you if you want.
That's why you see them walking around neighborhoods. They're sneaking up on people. I
mean, they're just cool guys on a bike. They don't got anywhere else to be.
The real thing is they sneak up on you and like lay hands on you. Yeah.
You want to play some Tekken? Yeah, and I do. But after a few rounds of Tekken, all of a sudden hands are laying on me and.
They just keep doing that trick from like middle school where someone tries to sit down and they slip their hand on your butt at the last second.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah, they do the popcorn trick, but it's a cross. You're jerking off. I also had a Mormon idea this week, and it's the Chateau Mormont, and it'd be a swanky little hotel in Hollywood where all the coolest Mormon artists and celebrities could congregate, and we
all what Napoleon Dynamite.
Yeah, he might have a movie going on, and he's, looking over and being like, we could get some music in here. Hey, Mormon Tabernacle Choir, do you know my friends Donnie and Marie Osmond? Of course you do. Do you know my friend Brandon Flowers of the Killers? Yeah. And, well, the music's taken care of. I can't think of a movie director who I know is Mormon, though.
I think... Who directed Napoleon Dynamite?
Oh, yeah. Oh, man, what's that guy's name?
Jared Hess.
Yes.
Yeah, and of course Mitt Romney on drums. I'm sorry, I'm really distracted because a second ago I tried to set my glass down on the floor beside me, and it was like on a little rock, and then I picked it up and it was a roly poly. It scared the hell out of me.
Oh,
he took off running.
Roly polies never scared me until recently. For some reason, finding out that they're crustaceans made them creepier.
Yeah.
Because they're the easiest bug to bully. I mean, any bug is easy to bully, but I mean, they just, they roll up and...
Okay, so...
They don't try to get away or anything.
Speaking of creepy bugs, I forgot that I didn't see you last night.
Oh, yes. I did not attend the trivia game.
Well,
what happened?
The bartender was playing all scary bug movies. And it was like, arachnophobia and it's called Sting or something. It's like giant wasps. And then the
Eight-legged freaks, maybe?
No, Mimic.
Oh.
And I was like, ugh, Mimic. Ugh. Ugh. And then a giant fucking cockroach came at me. Like, just ran at me in the middle of the bar, and everyone was like, ah! And I was like, what's going on? And then I was like, it's a giant fucking roach. There's a roach. I wasn't seeing it. I could just tell that was what was freaking everyone out. It's just like I knew in my bones that the universe hates me so much that if I'm watching that fucking movie, a giant cockroach is just going to rush right at me in broad daylight, as big as my thumb and twice as evil. Anyway, the bouncer ran up and smushed it right in front of everyone.
Yeah. So. That's a good bouncer. That makes me think, because people list so much. Can you give me your top 3 least favorite insects?
All right. Coming in at number 3, I think would be the cave cricket.
Yep. Loud, love basements, and so do I. But
not loud. They're the silent.
Oh, they're the
ones that live in a cave and they're blind.
Mm-hmm.
They get real big, spindly, kind of look like a crab, and then they shoot up into the air. They're powerful jumpers, and that's their whole thing, is that they hang out in your basement in Kentucky. They come up through the drain pipe in your bathtub, and they just jump randomly. Just jump right at you.
Yeah.
Grosses me out.
I don't
Number
know why
2.
I said loud, because they never. I've come across many in my basement. I'm a denizen of the basement.
You're like, that was your high-pitched screams, and you just mistook them for the cricket noise?
Sometimes it's just the voices in your head, and you credit them to others.
Number 2 would just be the big cockroaches. I mean, any cockroaches really, but if you see those big ones, and you can be like, maybe it was a water bug. But that's the thing, is that when you see a roach, you know that that there's a problem. You don't just see one and you're like, must have got in from outside. Yeah. It's not like if you see like a moth in your house, you're immediately like, oh, I have moths.
You're like, no, here comes a plague.
Here she comes.
Yeah, they're pretty terrible.
And then my number 1 would be that one that burrows into your eye. I don't know if that's a real thing, but I'm terrified of that. So it doesn't matter whether it's real or not. The fear is real.
Okay. I'm gonna go with my top 3. I've got a number 3, mosquito. It's pretty self-explanatory. They suck your blood and make you itch, and I don't think they do anything good. Number 2, and this is the weird pipe thing that you were talking about with is a silverfish count as an insect?
I think it is.
They freak me out. That's the eldritch horror that lives in your kitchen. And with number 3, if I'd ever experienced them, I'm sure it would be or number 1, bed bugs. But I've never had bed bugs.
Bed bugs.
And they're the scariest to me. But knock on some wood. I've never had that. So I'm gonna go with June bugs, because twice I've been riding my bike with my mouth agape, as I'm wont to do, and I've swallowed 2 June bugs in my time, and that's probably the most freaked out I've ever been. Is the first time a June bug flew down my open mouth while I was zooming along on my BMX.
Okay.
Also, on a semi-related point, BMX stands for bicycle motocross.
Yeah.
But a bicycle does not have a moto. So why isn't it just bicycle cross?
It should be bicycle cross. Unfortunately, bicycle cross was already taken, so they had to come up with a different name.
Really?
Yeah. Well, it's not a sport, but bicycle cross is when, back in the olden days, if the Klan couldn't find any wood, they would just make a bicycle cross.
And then burn it on. Because bicycles are always laying around. You can always make a cross out of a bike. Kids are always just leaving them out. You don't take care of the nice things we bought you. The Klan's going to come around and make a cross out of them.
Yeah.
Terrorize our neighbors. Great job. Put your bike in the garage.
That's the worst part about the Klan. Is
bicycle theft.
All the lumber theft. You wake up in the morning, you're like, oh, two of my boards are gone.
This fence isn't fencing anymore.
Finally, a reason to stop the Klan.
Skinny hobos are free to traipse into my backyard and steal pies off of my sill.
I'm too tickled. Oh. Okay.
You got a podcast idea? Because I mean, we're really cracking, but none of these are like.
Yeah. I have one written down here. It says, "Okay, Boomer." Now, I'm sure that you're familiar with this. It's a hot button topic in the news right now. Apparently the millennials are at it again. Now they're killing the boomer industry. They've come after the boomers. with an incendiary phrase. Okay, boomer. Now, they don't mean this in a pleasant way. They aren't saying okay in a conciliatory
there
sense.
is a heavily implied eye roll in there.
Yeah. Now,
and you know that the boomers deserve a lot more respect than an eye roll.
yeah. They deserve an egg roll.
And not to have to pay extra for it because it's the combination platter.
Yeah. Quit weighing this plate. You know, those buffets where they weigh your plate.
Uh-huh.
I never heard of that, and I went through one of those one time, and I was like, oh, damn, so good. And then they weighed it, and I was like, oh.
I get it, though,
I had
because
to walk away.
the Chinese food restaurant in my hometown had, they'd just give you the takeout thing, and you could go fill it up from the buffet. And I did it one time, and I was like, okay, yeah, that's a pretty good amount. And it's the same price no matter what. And then I saw what some of the animals were doing, and I don't know how they got that clamshell closed. You know,
Yeah.
It was a giant heap. Like, I think they had one person hugging the side so that they could pop that bad boy down. So I understand the scale, but when I go to the Froyo place, it still bothers me that I'm paying twice as much for my giant cup of Froyo as I would pay for like a half gallon
Yeah.
at the grocery store.
Yeah.
It's okay to weigh it, but charge me.
Well, and you are a millennial killing the ice cream industry with your Froyo. It's like ice cream. It's like ice cream for the PC police.
You get your one ice cream a day, and then you get some Froyo snacks to
Sensible
tide you
Froyo.
over till the next ice cream.
Okay.
But yeah, no.
But so I think maybe we should focus more with this idea.
Okay, boomer. Yeah, not.
Maybe just steer clear of the baby boomers completely and focus on other boomers.
Like Boomer Esiason?
Like Boomer Esiason and Boomer the Blue Panther who for the Indianapolis
Okay.
Pacers.
I got one more. One member of the Burger King Kids Club. She was a tomboy. She was the girl, but she's the best at sports. She always had like footballs. And
I thought Boomer was the black kid.
I think that was.
Was his name?
I want to say
Lips.
Oh, I don't think so.
What am I thinking of?
Unless well, actually they did do one. The Hispanic members was Lingo.
Lips.
You gotta look these up. I want to say the black kid's name was Mac, but that's so McDonald's-y. It feels wrong to me, but I think it's spelled with a K.
Oh my God! What are we talking about?
Something that no baby boomer would give a shit about.
Yeah, we really. Okay, so I'm looking up the picture here. It's a placemat, I think. Come on, give me full size on this.
Fancy Burger King, a placemat.
All right, it looks like. Oh, I wasn't wrong. So it's Boomer is the girl, Wheels is the kid in the wheelchair.
Yeah, oh yeah.
IQ is the smart one. You have Kid Vid, Lingo. The blonde girl, it looks like it says Simp?
Snaps. She liked to take pictures with her camera.
I thought it said Simps. And Jaws. I wasn't that far off from
I don't know why I want to say Mac.
Lips. It's like just.
Does he look anything like Richard Keel?
Like a little hint of like pedophilia and calling a kids club thing Lips. It's just slightly, just a stink of horniness on it. I don't like, and I'm sorry that I said it.
All right, well, more boomers. We've populated our pool a little bit.
Yeah. Hang on, I'll look up. What the Wikipedia disambiguation
I know that the
page
Oklahoma
is for boomer.
Oklahoma University rallying cry for their sporting events is "Boomer Sooner."
What?
Because they're the Oklahoma Sooners, but
Okay, so here's
boomer rhymes, half rhymes.
there's
slant
also
rhymes.
No, none of these other famous people with the last name Boomer are any good. Yeah. But there's Boomer, Missouri. That's a town.
Is that like? Did they have a large amount of people move to Oklahoma?
Oh, Mark Maron's cat.
Oh,
Also named Boomer. Boomer lives.
okay.
You remember that?
Nope.
That's like at the end of his podcast. He yells, "Boomer lives."
Is he his eldest cat?
I think it was just a cat that ran away, that he was sad that it ran away.
Ah, okay.
And wanted to believe that it didn't die. But I think he's been yelling "Boomer lives" for like 10 years now.
I get it. My
Unless
very first cat died when my dad backed over it in the car, and they told me it ran away. And I was still having cry dreams like 2 years later. And Dad waited till I was 18 to tell me. And he's like, "I got something to tell you." And I was like, "You killed my goddamn cat, didn't you?" But, man, I feel really bad about it now because I can't imagine living with that.
What about a boomerang? Could we count a boomerang?
Yeah, I think so. So okay, boomer is going to be where are we saying that the baby boomers are not okay, but we're going to do a show that's about boomers that are okay? Because I think we're going to have to strike I'm worried that Boomer Esiason might be in the middle of that Venn diagram.
Yeah. There's also Lieutenant Boomer from Battlestar Galactica.
Oh!
Yeah, that's a good
All right,
one.
I'm back on board. We can make that work.
It's also the name of the woodpecker from The Fox and the Hound.
Mm-hmm. It's the name of one of the tribes in Fallout New Vegas.
Yeah, that I just saw that on the Wikipedia. And for some reason, it says here, the alter ego of Tom DeLonge.
Of Blink-182 fame?
Well,
it's
a hyperlink. Let me make sure. Yes, it is that Tom DeLonge. It's not American history professor Tom DeLonge.
Is it him or Mark Hoppus who's the crazy conspiracy theory guy?
Well, I think Mark Hoppus is the conspiracy guy, but he seems a lot less crazy about it lately since the Navy confirmed that his UFO video was legit.
Oh, okay. All right. I stand corrected.
Yeah, so, yeah.
I will say with the whole OK Boomer thing, I am cringe anticipating the OK Millennial T-shirts. Yeah, because I've seen shirts for sale and stuff, but I haven't actually seen anybody wearing them. But I think that I will see. I feel like I'm going to see more OK Millennial T-shirts than OK Boomer ones.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Okay, so the very last thing on the Wikipedia disambiguation is other uses, and then it has, the Oklahoma thing, the a Canadian rock band called the Boomers, then a freeware pharmacokinetic modeling software, and then the very, very, very last thing is baby boomers demographic cohort, And then there's a subheading under that says, "Okay, Boomer." So,
put it in the books.
Ground floor on this one. If we start this, we're already on Wikipedia.
I mean, it's a really.
You know what? I said it out loud, then the logic fell apart. That was a long walk for nothing.
I will say that okay, putting okay in front of it takes. I'm a little frustrated that generation got. I know baby boom doesn't sound cool, but boom,
Yeah.
it's very explosive.
Boom.
Obvious. It's something that Adam West does to your head when he punches it. I do like saying boom. John Madden likes saying boom.
Boom.
I wish
there was the boom shakalaka from the NBA Jam video game.
Mm-hmm.
Boom shakalaka.
I feel like there could be a history of where boom shakalaka came from. I feel like Shaq had the right name and hit the right spot. I remember like a kid's book I read that was like Chicka Boom. It seemed like there was a lot of booms and shacks floating around, and I don't know where all that came from.
Yeah, no. I tried to look it up on Wikipedia, and boom shakalaka redirects to a rapper who used that name. So here's the other thing: we could get it to redirect anything to us on Wikipedia. Apparently, people look up pepperoni. It's us.
Don't put me on your pizza, though. I don't. Yeah,
looks like they're playing pretty fast and loose with what they'll link to. So, I mean,
do you think that there's some like it's user generated? So whose palms do I gotta grease? It's a lot easier when you know who the Mac Daddy is, so you can
Yeah. Who's to stop us from making a podcast where every week we add more words to the title of our podcast until it contains the entire English dictionary, and then we can try and claim that we should get a little taste of all of those links on Wikipedia.
I love some tasty links.
Yeah. No, we get our beaks wet.
Yeah. Perfect.
You know, when they do that sad thing where they come around with the hat on Wikipedia. We know you're going to skip over this, but please hear us out.
'Tis the season.
We need money.
Thanksgiving is over, and now it is time for you to give to Wikipedia. Can you imagine if the encyclopedia industry hadn't already cratered, and if they were trying to keep up with it and just like mailing people new pages every day? You just get like I don't know what, like a few 40-pound boxes, industrial-sized paper boxes that are all filled with the new pages that you have to put into your. They'd have to go with a binder system, and every page would have to have some sort of coded tab telling you where it goes.
Yeah. Wow. All right. I got one here from a listener.
Okay.
It's from our friend Zach. Zach writes, lessons learned, a Davy and Goliath fan cast.
Ooh.
No, I'm not sure if you're familiar with Davy and Goliath.
I am, but I'm nowhere near an expert. I'm much more familiar with Davy and Goliath's secular cousin Gumby. But I love me some clay boys and their pets, so I would be down to to bone up on it.
Yeah, I never thought of Pokey as being Gumby's pet.
What, just because he's smarter than Gumby?
Well, I mean, I guess that they both talked similarly. I just feel like a horse...
Pokey never rides Gumby. It's always the other way around.
Okay, that is true. I guess that's a good point.
Does Goliath ever ride Davy?
No.
All right, that's the line of demarcation.
You have me
if
dead
one
to rights,
rides on
sir.
the other. Oh man, do you remember the Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis game Clay Fighter? What a missed opportunity not having Davy and Goliath and Pokey and Gumby in there.
If they came out with a Clay Fighter today, they definitely have. It's like when they have like the Mortal Kombat, you can play as Batman.
Yeah,
like Batman versus Scorpion.
Oh yeah, they got it was DC versus Mortal Kombat, and then they had Marvel versus Capcom. So you had Street Fighter versus
Capcom?
Marvel.
Yeah, those are always I'd
like it was for people who are good at it. Like I was like embarrassed. I'm like, I'm just want to play against the computer because you video game guys that I know, you're good at this.
It was only fun when you were just goofing around and not when somebody was trying to win. Because those games make you feel real stupid when somebody beats you at it.
Yeah. Yeah, they didn't have a you don't know Jack arcade game. I had to be like, come over to my house. I swear I'm cool. Let me beat you at trivia video games. We can have popcorn and pizza.
I'm sorry. I had Facebook open and I got a notification, and I don't know why I thought I needed to look at it during the podcast, but it was just telling me that 3 of my friends have birthdays, and then it said, help them. And I was like, what?
On this day of all days, of course I'll... was it like donate to this cause?
No, it was just that I didn't read to the next line that said celebrate.
Oh. Okay. Very
Help
good.
them! All right. Should we fire up the Podtron, see what it's got?
Well, I got an idea. I haven't done one.
Oh. Wait. I thought you had. I apologize.
No, we've gone on this has been tangent fest.
I feel like this has all been good.
It's been
good
very,
content.
very fun time. But this is like I brought up. I'm gonna say that my fake Chateau Mormont. That was kind of a throwaway, but I'll say that was an idea. This one I think has like some more legs on it though, and it's called Schmemily Post. Your guide to the new etiquette.
Okay,
it's like an extreme etiquette.
I like it.
You know what? You got 2 forks, one's for salad and one's for other things. We're going to have a different fork for everything.
Okay.
It's going to be a fork satchel. You're going to get a little bag and you got to tie it to your belt loop. And, you got a fork for your salmon mousse. You've got a completely different fork for your broccoli, and all of these forks are going to have tines that go just into the right place.
I mean, we still got to kill another 15 minutes. Why'd you give me the best idea of all goddamn time?
Oh, I can go all day. Etiquette is old news, or it's also new news because the old etiquette's out the door. yeah. It's a new yes.
It's a new.
But also, people say that it's impolite to curse. But I'm just gonna say it's more polite if you can come up with a cool new curse nickname for the person you're meeting, because you're just hearing their name for the first time.
Yeah.
So if you can fit a cuss word in there that quick, they're going to be impressed.
Yeah. Hey, SJ.
Yeah, that's right. Hey, Master Nate. I don't know.
Just
I should.
yeah. Now you're my slave. Or my butler.
Anyway, there's no good reason for doing any of these things. So let's just start a new tradition and have lots of fun, cool rules that we can make future generations follow, and they'll hate them, and they'll start their new etiquette. But just a podcast
rules. Cool new rules.
Rewrite that book.
They're the new news.
Do you got any etiquette things that you're not a big fan of?
Yeah. How about this one? Hey, if you don't want me digging around in your dumpster, keep your pants on.
Okay, I got one. It's they say don't pick your nose, but I say do pick your nose, but create a tool that makes it so you don't have to put your finger up there. Just
in your dumpster?
It's pretty much like a tweezer. Just like use tweezers, and picking your nose is fine.
Yeah. Hell, I really do that. You ever get like one of them high boogers?
I get all kinds of boogers.
Yeah.
And I don't follow my rule because I use my fingers every time. Sometimes on the high ones I have to use a pinky so that I don't, you know.
He's got to break his own rule on this one, folks.
I'm open. Like I don't want this to be like everybody be just like me. I'm open to change as much as anybody.
Yeah,
is.
Maybe we get in some.
I just think that some of
other
these
people.
etiquette things are just like that's the way we've always done them, and I'm just wanting to bust up that status quo.
Yeah, get in some younger children to be like, you guys shouldn't be wearing those short shorts.
Maybe this is actually okay, Boomer.
No.
This is what okay, Boomer is.
Oh.
We were on the same page, and it just took a conversation to
bring us together. It was like we were at each other's throats, and then Kylie Jenner came up with an ice cold Pepsi, and we were like, damn, yeah, we kind of like the police now.
What if all of America decided like, yeah, you're right, blue lives do matter. We're just gonna be good now.
Everyone's coming out of their house with a Pepsi, shaking it up, popping the top of the 2-liter. They're just chanting for the police.
I want to make it so that Coke and Pepsi have to decide which one of them is Black Lives Matter and which one of them is Blue Lives Matter. And that's what they want the least of all.
Pepsi just comes out with an ad that says, Pepsi, the only cola that believes in Black Lives Matter. And then Coke's like, shit. Oh, fuck.
It's a double fuck you to Coke because then Coke is like, well, all we can do is go Blue Lives Matter and we're red. Pepsi's blue. We're selling Pepsi with this.
All right, let's throw out the idea that we had earlier for the car registry. We're doing this now.
We've had a cola wars. Can we have a cola race wars?
Damn it.
What were you saying?
So yeah, should we check in with the Podtron?
Yeah, let's see what that boy's got to say.
Now, folks, the Podtron 4500 is an artificial intelligence. I fed it every title of the top 1,000 podcasts currently on Apple Podcasts, and and then it spits out a list of similarly titled podcast ideas for us to use to try and break into that market. So here it is. Here we go.
It's spinning. Okay.
All right. Yeah. Ooh. Ooh. Ah. Ooh. Mindy. Is that a thing Mork from Mork said? Mindy?
Yeah.
All right.
Because it was Mork and Mindy. So he had to talk to his co-star.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
He could have just been like, babe.
Yeah.
Hey, babe.
Well, it's like you remember Jake and the Fat Man? It's not like Jake went around going, he's like, hey, Jake, look at this clue. Hang on a second. What'd you say there, Fat Man?
Just once, couldn't it be Rodney and the physically fit man? No, I
Yeah,
he's like, I'd probably have to do some running for that.
No, I was imagining that the fat man's name is Rodney, and he is trying to make an argument that it should be Rodney, and then just describing Jake as the physically fit man.
Yeah.
Oh,
Did they ever do like an Adult Swim show that was a takeoff on Jake and the Fat Man, but it was just like the fattest man?
Jake and the fattest man is that guy who had to get carried on a flatbed truck to his wedding.
No, just like they roll up, they do good cop, bad cop, but just one of them's on the back of a flatbed truck the whole time.
Yeah. Yeah, that really could have been something. Anyway, here's a podcast idea that the Podtron spit out that it's called Someday in the Universe.
Oh.
Podtron says Someday in the Universe. So this seems like it'd be kind of like this day in history, but in reverse, where it's future dates.
Oh,
I guess what I've described is a horoscope or some kind of a psychic,
but not specific to one person. Like this is just like whole scale.
Yeah, I guess it'd be more like Nostradamus. If Nostradamus was around today, he would have changed his name to something that sounds more American, like Norbit. And then he just have a podcast called Someday in the Universe. It's just like, hey everybody, this is Norbit. So there's gonna be this cool cat named Jesus Christ. Except I guess that wouldn't be a modern day Nostradamus if he's predicting Jesus Christ. That's going back.
Well, he might be predicting the second coming. So
yeah, no, it could be, or that could be part of the reverse Nostradamus is that he lives in today times and he just does this day in history instead.
Oh man! But if Nostradamus was predicting the second, what is the worst name that the second coming of Jesus, first name the second coming of Jesus could have? Like, there are a lot of bad first names out there.
So wait, so it's gonna be. Are you asking what the name of the man that becomes God made flesh?
Or a woman, yeah.
Okay.
But like I'm assuming that their parent isn't gonna be have the gumption to be like, yep, that's the Jesus one right there. I could feel it.
Well, let me. How does this
feel his
grab you?
glory inside of me for 9 months? I knew it the whole time.
How does this grab you? Norbit Christ.
That's, you already said the answer, and it's your prognosticator, which it's a little bit flawed. I believe him. I believe in him.
Yeah, you better. It's only through faith in Norbit Christ will you be saved from the past.
He's gonna, take two. He's gonna take 2 burger buns and 1 fillet of fish and feed 10 billion people.
And then he'll have a T-shirt and it just says 10 billion served.
Yeah. I'm your god now. Come and eat my fish.
You know what? Like, I was making a joke, but in my mind, for some reason, when it got into the Norbit Christ idea,
Norbit.
in my mind, I was already picturing Ronald McDonald doing all of these things. So that's where the billion served came from. I was already imagining Ronald McDonald as our Lord and Savior Norbit Christ.
Oh, well, you messed it up for me, because I was picturing Eddie Murphy as Norbit the whole time, and now I'm just...
Norbit by himself isn't funny, unless you have like a big fat holy ghost.
Well, just like Norbit being... I don't know. I saw Norbit putting on the Ronald McDonald makeup, and it was way darker than the Joker was. I don't want to be around when whatever our new god has planned is going down.
He's like, yo, you thought homophobia was wild. Just you wait. This is God 2.0.
It might be fun, though. It really might. All right, I'm back in. It might be fun.
What if it was... God, the new God shows up and he's like, check it out, homophobiaphobia.
Isn't that what
gay
people have experienced for years?
Persecution.
Like, if I be myself, somebody might beat or murder me. Isn't that what homophobia is?
Homophobiaphobia is what gay people experience.
Yeah.
You're right. Dang.
That's just.
Shit.
But I've got one here.
All right.
This is another Podtron idea. And it is Stuff Mommy Speaks.
Stuff Mommy Speaks.
Which is different than Stuff Mommy Says. Because Mommy says a lot of stuff, but when Mommy speaks, she gets a different tone of voice, and everybody knows to be worried.
Yeah.
And so I think that like a podcast that is on the same level as When Mom Gets Serious, which is When Mommy Speaks. But we don't have them like we're not moms.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the thing that I feel is like Stuff Mommy Speaks doesn't sound like a conversation. It sounds like
this is final.
An incantation.
It's a proclamation. It's incantation, proclamation.
Also speaks mommy.
Thus spake Mama Thrustra. Or whatever.
Mama Thrustra. Oh. Yeah, that's kind of like where I was feeling like
no, it needs to have some gravity to it, like, for sure.
Does Mommy Speaks. And Mommy is saying, Mommy needs wine. All right. So, damn, I have not been. Are we getting a buzz off of something?
Yeah, I can hear it. I can hear a little buzz.
All right. Is it the? Oh, that made it worse.
We might have a new least favorite bug. Get off of my microphone, bug.
Oh,
Insect. Sorry.
You scared me. I thought we had a bug in the studio. Is there? You're just blowing because of the buzzing noise.
Yeah.
Don't freak me out, bro. I had an encounter. I was in the shit.
All right. Solemn promise, I will never tell you there's a bug in your hair if there isn't one.
Okay.
You'll know that warning's coming for real.
All right, so wait, we need to go back through everything that we did because I forgot to be keeping notes on what that was.
Mm-hmm.
Also, in my notes where if I'd done that, I would have seen this note to myself to say hello to our first listener outside of the continental U.S.
Oh!
Yeah, we have a European listener now.
Where from?
From jolly old England. It's probably because we did the what was that thing with Titus and Richo?
I do not remember right now. But if I got to do a British accent, I'm sure it was great.
It was very good. We were both so British.
Jolly old England.
British.
Love your fish and chips and your football.
That's right. That's right.
That's right.
That's more of an Australian accent.
Yeah. And I'm sure all these people love when they have a good old American chap do an impression of them.
Yeah. We love Hugh Jackman.
We have honky tonk badonkadonks down here too. I'm trying. I don't know. I was trying to think of what people would like. What the stupidest American accent is that they would try to do an impression of, and I was going to do honky tonk badonkadonk.
Okay.
And then I was like, well, how would an Australian say that?
We have honky tonk badonkadonks.
Yeah, they probably do.
Yeah, I mean they definitely do. Definitely probably do. What am I thinking of? Thinking of?
Well, like, do we have a name, or is it just we some like one tiny little prick of heat popped up on a heat map?
We don't have a name. All it is that because we've been doing so much podcasting, I had to upgrade the server, and that started tracking where listeners listen from. And yeah, we had somebody dinged us. Started listening to the show in England. So, hello out there. Make yourself known.
I'd like to say hello to all corners of the world. What a magical experience it is talking into this microphone. It's just turned into a purple portal to me.
I would like to say hello to all corners of the world except Little St. James Island. I don't want to shout out to that one. I guess AJ does. So hello to the entire globe except for that corner that was Jeffrey Epstein's pedophile island.
Yeah, I'll let that stand. I'll say hello to Jeffrey Epstein.
Hello down there.
Do you need any help?
Are you getting pedophiling?
Is there any, can we make a podcast that can save you?
Oh, you want to help them get better,
but only with podcasts.
Not help with what they're trying to do down there.
I mean, I just want to make a podcast for all seasons, rule of thumb, an evergreen podcast that helps both.
Rule of thumb, if you ever see anyone committing a sex crime, don't just yell, "Do you need help?" Because they might think that you're talking to the sex criminal.
That's some good advice.
Well, yeah. So
should you specify which person you're talking to?
You there.
Hey there!
You there, boy!
You with the yellow hair! No, not you in the balaclava! I'm not talking to you!
Alright, which one of these podcasts are we doing? We had OK Boomer. What was the one I said was the best idea that we've ever had?
I don't know. I thought since we talked I think we should combine OK Boomer and I think we should just
the etiquette one.
Yeah, which I like the title OK Boomer. Like a new etiquette better than mine was Schmemily Post, your guide to the new etiquette.
So it's called OK Boomer.
But it's an etiquette podcast.
The new. All right, that's what we're doing. So if you want to stick it to the man and learn the new etiquette that's gonna burn everybody who still buys Dockers. OK Boomer, the podcast. OK Boomer, the original thing called OK Boomer. Redirect Wikipedia to us now.
And also to boomers, and we're gonna add some more words into that title. Like, actually, maybe you can have this like Schmemily Post thing as a subtitle, so we can get in on
OK
that Wikipedia. Like, it'd be really great if our podcast title could have every word in this language in it.
Got it.
Great.
So that's yeah. So if you want to hear that, come on over to patreon.com/we don't have a podcast yet. That's where we get. I'm sorry, we get a little choked up about this. That's where we have our own Disney vault. But, there is no Disney inside our vault. It's all of the podcasts that we've tried so far. Mm-hmm. And if you support what we're doing, why not support it financially?
Yeah, and it only takes a small amount of money.
Yeah.
Like, no matter how much money you give Disney, they aren't going to let you see Song of the South. But we will let you listen to whatever. I can't even think of what our worst one is because they're all so good.
Dirge of the North.
Like at some point we're gonna have Dirge of the North. It's just gonna be us singing our favorite love songs in a Canadian accent.
Well, I think we might have already done it with one where we just described jerking off for an hour. That might be our song.
That was
a
helpful, informational podcast that I still think we should try to sell to high schools.
Yes. Okay, but yeah. So. We have that one. We have one where we hold a seance for a horse. We have one where we review Amazon reviews.
Also, there's one where we review very terrible movies and try to get on the
Don't
the
listen
poster.
to him. We never did that.
Yeah, we did. It wasn't great. We did. We talked about our cars, our past cars. We were like, what was it? Click and Clack and Clank and we did that one.
Yeah. And you're probably right now, you're like, Nathan and AJ, why would, I think that this show is entertaining. And we're like, it's not a show. The show is forthcoming. And then you're like, well, whatever. If you had a show every week, maybe I could see paying a couple of bucks to hear it. But here's the thing. If you don't want to do that, if you think you're too cool, if you think $5 is a bridge too far to support your friends, but hey, you're supporting Netflix and all they do is cancel your favorite TV shows. Hey, so maybe just do this. Just to support us a little, just go to Instagram and follow WDHAPY on Instagram. And who knows, maybe they're going to make some kind of announcement this week. If you're hanging out, if you're watching them on Instagram, maybe they're gonna drop something that might be important to me.
Might make your lips smack, just like that meal you just had, people. And
how's that meal?
This is for Thanksgiving, right? It's a turkey meal.
That's right. It
often,
would be.
according to the old etiquette, but the new etiquette, it's...
Yeah, wouldn't it be great if you had a bunch of podcast episodes you could binge while you're on your... taking that
to share with your family.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think that Uncle Doug knows everything about masturbating. He could probably learn something new about it.
What is that? What's that you said there, Riley? Is this like Fibber McGee and Molly? That's right, Granddad. Except instead of all the shit in the closet, it's just cum. Anyway, that's we're done. Yeah, check out OK Boomer on Patreon.